Welcome to Ben Talks Money. Here we discuss stocks, investments, ETFs, and personal finance.
Hello there, welcome back to Ben Talks Money. My name is Ben. I have an MBA in Finance and Management. I've been training for 8 years and I'm a full-time options trader. So this is a weekly episode where we take a look at the stocks that we'll be trading for the week. If you are new here, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share, and humbly, please help me get to 4,000 subscribers. I'm close to it, and your subscription will go a long way in helping me do that. Before we start, we have to be a little bit mindful of the market. The past couple of weeks, the AI trade is trying to drag the market down. Last week, Friday, we had a push in the market. And by the end of the week, we were back to where we started on Friday. So this week, we have to be mindful. NVIDIA's earning is also this week. So it's going to have a lot of influence on the market one way or the other. So we have to be mindful of our position sizing and get our eyes peeled on any news that comes on the market. So with that being said, let's take a look at the stocks that we'll be trading. So the first one that we take a look at is QUBT. So this is a quantum name that has been going down for a while now. And you can see on the daily chart here that this thing has been struggling. You see, it's been moving down here, and from the highs of $24, it came all the way down to below $10. And on Friday, we pushed back up to $10.68. But right after hours on Friday, this stock made almost 14% move. And right now it's sitting right here at around $12.05. So we have to be mindful of it because the 200-day SMA is around $13. So we have to be mindful of it. But if this holds $12 and we see some volume coming in the pre-market, and likely if this is a valid move, it will likely break the 200-day moving average before the market opens. And if it does that and it holds it, we'll be willing to get in. At the same time, if we see a back test into $10.50, we will take a look at it. And if we see volume coming in, we'll likely take a position and move it straight to the 200-day moving average, and then we go from there. So that is it for the QUBT, and also probably for all the quantum names as well, because I also saw QBTS, Rigetti, and IONQ also making some moves after market. So it looks like it's a sector-wise move, and we have to keep an eye on the quantum names this week. The next one that we take a look at is GNS. This is on the lower side for people who don't mind trading the penny stock. If you are somebody who doesn't mind trading penny stocks, this is for you. This one closed at around 86 cents on Friday, but after hours, it made a 50% move. So usually when this thing happens, it tells you that there is going to be a move on Monday. Either it's going to pull back or it's going to make one of those 200%, 300% move. This is right now trading at after hours around $1.30, but it closed at around 86 cents. So that's about 50% move in after hours. So one thing is that when this kind of move happens, you have to know that every penny stock trader, every day trader will be looking at this, because as of the close of Friday, this is the stock that is making the most move in the entire US market. So it's going to be hitting on every single scanner, and people are going to take a look at it and probably look to short it or long it. But if you see, this thing has a lot of room to go. And right now it's right here around, it's trading right here at around $1.30. So if it's able to hold $1.30, there's a room for this thing to go to about $1.50 and then $1.75 before we can make a move to $2, which will be a strong resistance zone. If you can see, this has been making a lot of downturn. If you look at the chart, it's really, really ugly. If you look at it back in April 2023, this stock was trading around $75, and it's right now it's trading back in the pennies. So you have to be mindful that if you are shorting it, be mindful that this thing can go, and if it starts going, it can really hurt you. So just play safe on this one. The next one that we'll take a look at is NAMM. This thing is also up 14% in after hours. So we have to watch this also on Monday. The volume is not that encouraging. It's a really small volume, but again, we would likely take a look at it. It doesn't mean we are going to trade it. This thing doesn't have a lot of levels to go with. Right now, it's trading around $1.78. If it's able to hold above $2 and we see volume coming in, we are likely to take a look at it and see where this thing goes. So that's it for NAMM, but this will be on the cautious side. The next one that we take a look at is RPTX. This is a pharmaceutical company, and it's up a whooping 30% after hours on Friday. So it's one of the stocks that is going to be on every single scanner. and every trader is going to take a look at it. Every person that trades is going to take a look at this stock on Monday. So it's going to be hitting on every scanner. And if you look at it, if you look at it here, this needs to hold the $2, right? You can see the $2 zone here. It's a strong support zone, support resistance zone. So if it's able to hold $2 right now, it's above it. It's $2.15. If it's able to hold above $2, it's a great sign. It's up 30% again in after hours on Friday. So if the market opens or even early hours on Monday, this thing is trading a little bit higher. There's a lot of room for gap fill to $2.80, which is a huge move. It's about almost 40% move from here for this kind of stock. So if this holds, it's likely to fill the gap of about $2.80. Again, if you can see this here, this thing has fallen a lot. So there's a lot of room for a gap fill to $2.80. And after that, there's room to the noise right here. There's a lot of noise here in this area. So around $3.78. So there's a lot of room. What you can guarantee is that a lot of traders are going to look at this RPTX and GNS. A lot of traders are going to look at these two names. The next one that we take a look at is DFLI. DFLI. Dragonfly Energy. This is one of those holding companies that makes crazy moves out of nowhere. This stock is up 14% in after hours on Friday. So something clearly is going on with it. But we have to be careful because these things can just pop and drop. Ideally, it needs to break $1. For this to be any valid move, for people to be excited about it, it needs to break $1. If it's able to break $1, then you can see a lot of traders coming in for this particular name. One thing that you have to see is that there's a moving average crossover. This usually signals a reversal in trend. The moving average crossover that you can see right here. This is something that anybody who is looking at the daily chart for DFLI is going to take note of and definitely see where this thing is going to go. Because right now, it broke above the cross and it's sitting here at about 93 cents. So if it's able to just come in and test it, the 50 days is around 90 cents. If it's able to come in and retest the 90 cents and hold, this thing can move to $1.50, $2, because these signals are usually good. It usually signals an upward trend. So we have to take a look at this one. We keep a close eye on this. It's likely to make some moves one way or the other. The next one that we take a look at is SHMD. It's a holding group. We don't care about that. All we care about is the technicals and what other traders are looking at. This is also up 8% in after hours on Friday. This is a little bit on the higher side. It's right now trading at around $6, a little bit below $6. So the goal, if you look at the daily chart here and where this thing is right now, it definitely needs to hold about $6. It's too close to $6 to get in any move from here. For it to be a valid move for Monday, we need this to hold above $6. Break above $6. And if you can see here, it looks like $6. This looks like a recent IPO, probably in 2024 or something like that. So we need this to hold $6. If it holds $6, the next resistance area will be about $6.70. And from there, blue sky setup. So we need this to hold above $6. And then from $6.70, if it breaks above it with strong volume, it will be a blue sky setup from there. So the next one that we take a look at is CWAN. CWAN. This is also a little bit on the higher side. It's up almost 20% in after hours on Friday. So this one is right now trading around $23. It's exactly at $23. But if you look at it, it's been trending downward. And on Friday, it broke above the 50-day SMA. With this, we are going to take a look at it. And since it just broke above all the moving averages in one day, during the day on Friday, it held the 50-day. And then right here in after hours, it broke above the 200-day. So what we need to do is to wait and see if this thing will come back and retest the 200-day, which is around $22.80. If it's able to come back and hold the 200-day, it gives us a strong entry point, and we use the 200-day as our exit point. It's not often that you see a stock with a chart where the 50-day is below the 200-day. It tells you that this stock, you see the crossover that happened here. So we have to be mindful of it, but we need it to hold above the 23. And if it comes to retest the 200-day, it definitely needs to hold. If it doesn't hold it, there is no way you should go into any position from here. right? Because these holding companies, they just can perform a lot of pump and dump. You don't want to be caught in it. But if it comes back and tests the 200-day, then it gives you an idea of where things can go from there. And then it will be a good way to enter, and then you use the 200-day as your exit point. So you give yourself maybe like 20, 30 cents of risk. And then once it breaks below it, you are out without any question. The next one that we take a look at is DMAC. This is a popular name that I know a lot of people trade. This thing is up almost 9% in after hours, and it's right now trading around $6.44, which is very close to the 50-day SMA. The 50-day is around $6.80. So it's about 40 cents away. If the market opens and this thing is not above the 50-day, I wouldn't be interested personally, because this kind of names, you need a solid entry and exit point. You need a definite point that you know that a lot of people will be watching. And the 50-day is something that a lot of traders watch. For me to be interested, it needs to break above the 50-day, which is around $6.80. If it breaks above it and it hold, then it will give me an entry point, and you use that as your exit. It's always good to have this kind of exit when you are trading this kind of stocks. So the next one that we take a look at is TENX. TENX, this thing is also up 8% in after hours, and it's right now around $7.68, which puts it right above here. So if you look at this one, we need to see this flat top breakout. We need to see this flat top breakout. It looks like it's trying to fill the gap, but we need to see the flat top breakout. We need to see this break above $7.80, and there's a room here to go to about $8.20, which is not bad for this name. It needs to break above this noise. If you can see here, this is the resistance zone here. It's also a resistance zone here. There's also a resistance zone here. So we definitely need this to break above $7.80 with volume. And if it comes back, it should hold it. And then that will be our exit point. The $7.80 will be our exit point. But if the market opens and this thing is already gone, then we need to see if it will come back and test the $8.23. If not, find an entry point on the 5-minute chart or the 1-minute chart based on what you prefer to use for your trading. There's a lot of names out here also. EGG, this is also a holding company, a consulting company. For some reason, it's up 11% in after hours. It's right now trading around $4.50, which puts it a little bit close to this area here, but the volume is not that encouraging. So if you are interested in this, just make sure that it fits your risk profile before you get in. The 50-day moving average is about $5. So you have about 50 cents to go. But if the market opens and it's above the 50-day moving average, then that's a great way to enter and use that as your entry point, as your entry and your exit point. And there's room for this to go to about $6.30. And then from there, about $7. So this thing can really go. If it wants to go, if you look at the chart, it's a little bit jumpy. So you have to be mindful of your sizing. And the other one that we take a look at is SLI. This is a lithium play. It's a lithium battery company. So if you are interested in this, this thing is up 11% in after hours. It's right now trading around $3.63. The 50-day SMA is 3 cents away. You want this to break above $3.70 and hold. If the market opens and this thing is trading above $3.70, that's good. You find an entry point, wait for a pullback on the 1-minute or the 5-minute chart before you enter, and you use the base of it as your exit point. That's how you trade these names. Don't just buy and wait or buy and hope. It doesn't usually go well like that. The last one that we take a look at is EEIQ. EEIQ, this is also on the really lower side for people who want to trade those kind of names. This thing is up 17% in after hours. So if you are interested in this kind of names, this will be for you. But also, if you look at it, it's trading below all the moving averages. And as a matter of fact, the 50-day is very close. The 50-day is about 5 cents away. So you want it to hold above the 50-day, which will be around 45 cents. If it holds about 45 cents, then it can give you. But if you look at the chart, look at this shit. This tells me that this thing can really go. It can really go, move up to $1 and then come back the same day. So you have to be really, really careful up with this kind of names. It can pump and then dump. And look at all the crossovers that it's been doing here. This is why this kind of stocks are really risky. These penny stocks, they are really, really risky. They usually pump and dump. But if you're interested in the name, it's cheap. It's about 40 cents. If you're interested, just be careful on how you trade it. Be mindful of your risk. And that's the end of the video. This week is going to be a really, really interesting week. We want to see where NVIDIA is going to take the market after the earnings. So be mindful. This market is a little bit on the edge right now. Stay safe, protect your income, protect your resources, be mindful of your trade. And if this video was helpful to you, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, share, tell a friend to tell a friend. And until next time, let's keep talking money.